Yeah, you see the products, you know the sponsor. 9 games were played on Martin Luther King Day, MLK Day they call it in the USA. That was on Monday. These are the results. Celtics beat the Hornets. Bucks stopped the Pacers. Raptors needed overtime to beat the Knicks. Warriors better than the Wizards. Cavaliers too strong for the Pelicans. Hawks beat the Heat. Jazz, the music they played, put the Wolves to sleep. The Grizzlies, they beat the Suns. And the Lakers, another big night for LeBron. They beat the Rockets. Now, Ja Morant scored 29 points to lead Memphis Grizzlies to a comfortable 136-106 win over Phoenix Suns, extending their win streak to 10.
Tennessee, always a special scene on MLK Day. There's Gary Payton, Lou Oldang, Nancy Lieberman, Eddie George, all walking up to accept the National Civil Rights Museum Sports Legacy Award. We got the Grizzlies, we got the Suns, we got Ja Morant knocking down a step-back three. Then Damian Lee finds Mikal Bridges for a three-pointer. Later, Bridges finds DeAndre Ayton inside for the jumper. Nicely done from Ayton there. 31-22, Phoenix in front. Ja Morant, step back three, money. Then Morant in transition, working on his turnaround jumper as he penetrates into the lane and then gently puts that one up and in. Bridges now, a floater off glass off the dish from Landry Shamet. And at the half, Memphis' lead was 68-65. Third quarter now. Off the inbounds, it's Morant finding Desmond Bane for the three-pointer. 81-74, Memphis up by 7. Then Morant to Jaren Jackson Jr. Hoop and harm on this one. He'd make the free throw. The lead at 9. Grizzlies starting to pull away. Morant on the drive makes the and one layup, and he'd make the free throw as well. Tough move there, but he gets it to go as he falls to the floor. And Morant obviously having a good time out there. Then he takes it to the basket, draws a little contact, scores again. Incredible hang time. He'd make the free throw there. Then Desmond Bane knocks down a three. Then Bane to Brandon Clark for the big stuff inside. Hoop and harm on that one. He'd missed the free throw, but boy, Memphis wouldn't miss the win. They'd get it by 30. Your final score in this one, 136-106.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a blowout. So, Mariah, the Grizzlies have been impeccable in recent time. Another win will see them, well, if they win their next game, see them return to the top of the Western Conference. And already people are saying, well, you know, we are looking at the team that will be best of the West by the time the playoffs start. Are you agreeing with that? Are you buying into that narrative?
Yeah, well, I think you'd be very foolish to disagree based on how they have been playing. And, of course, Ja Morant has been a very, very exciting player once he's fit and healthy, just like we like to say about most players. You know, I expect him to continue contributing night after night. And we have to remember, he's 23 years of age, so he's a pretty young player. So, you know, he would be able to do things. He's very fit. He's able to do things that the older players in the NBA, and if you notice in most of the teams, the stars tend to be a bit older than Ja Morant is. Another thing to draw on where the Grizzlies' performances are concerned is the fact that they play as a team, and Ja was quick to say that. They appear to have a very good relationship. Off the court, when he was doing his interview, one of the players was coming up to him, of course, you know, just making jokes while he's currently doing the interview. So he attributes a lot of the success just to the family-like environment in the Grizzlies team.
Let's look at the Western Conference standings. So the Grizzlies are poised to capture top spot. So the Nuggets, 30 games the Nuggets have won, so too have the Grizzlies. And so they have an identical record. The last 10 games, Grizzlies, perfect 10-0. The Nuggets have dropped 2 games. Both teams above the, well, both teams are the ones that are setting the pace there. If you look at down the table, so the Rockets at the bottom, 0-10 in their last 10 games. The Spurs, and look where the Lakers are in 13th. The Suns, not many people would have gambled on the Suns being as rotten as they are, but then again, you could see a strain in the off-season between Monty Williams, the coach, and some of the leading players, especially the Bahamian DeAndre Ayton. The Thunder, the Trailblazers, have hopes of getting into the play-in. The Timberwolves will be there in the play-in, I'm predicting. The top 8 at this time, I don't see anybody from the top 8 dropping to further than 10, meaning the Jazz going down there or the Warriors going down there. But the Warriors will be fine. So the top 8 as it is now, I suspect that this will hold, even though that there are a lot of games to come. But the top 8 are the 8 best teams in the West at this time of speaking. And unless something miraculous happens in the trade to strengthen the teams below, then the rest will be battling for the play-in. The Grizzlies winning the West. So the Nuggets, the Pelicans, the Kings. You know what? Can the Warriors make up that 8-point gap at this time?
They could.
And win the West? Here's why it won't happen. You don't have to. Gone are the days when you're looking across the conference and you're saying, oh, you know that I want to avoid this team or that team, so we need to get this seed or that seed. These guys are just wanting to qualify for the playoffs. And with the play-in there as well, it is just to do whatever it takes to be able to play post-season basketball next year. So I think the Nuggets and the Grizzlies have a jump on people. But then again, you could go through a run where you are 2-5 in a 7-game spell, or you're 0-4 and you find that you're back to the pack. So it's quite not separated yet. They can win, but I don't expect them to.
But we've always said, it doesn't really matter how hard you push in the regular season once you do what you have to do to get it done, because when you head to the playoffs, that's when you want to be fit and fine.
Well, you have to push hard to get to the playoffs. So it's going to be a lottery, because as we saw on that graphic, there are some good teams and some big players at the bottom of the Western Conference who need wins to get them into the business. So to get to the playoffs will be a dogfight by itself. But when you get there, you can relax, because the work starts in the postseason. Overtime was needed to decide the winner of the game between the Raptors and the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Fred VanVleet, here trade rumors of him going to the Lakers. He led the Toronto franchise with 33 points. The Raptors winning 123-121.
Pascal Siakam and the Toronto Raptors getting set for a tough task. The New York Knicks are playing ball of late. Julius Randle crossing over, driving in for the stuff. We're tied at 25. Then Siakam kicks it over to Scotty Barnes, who drives down the lane for the big throw down there. And Toronto up by 9. Jalen Brunson pull-up jumper goes down. And at the half, well, the Knicks have returned a lead to themselves, 59-56, third quarter. Siakam to Fred VanVleet for the 3, and we've got a 1-point game. Knicks in front, 69-68. R.J. Barrett shares it with Julius Randle in the post. He goes up and gets a stuff there. 84-79, Knicks in front. Then Barrett keeping this one. He's got a baseline floater in the fourth quarter, 99-92. Knicks in front off a Knicks turnover. It's Siakam going the other way for the layup. This cuts the lead down to 5. Then Fred VanVleet hits a three-pointer with just over 2 minutes to go, and it's a 2-point game. Then VanVleet ties the game at 1:04 with a minute 30 left. Later in the fourth, Scotty Barnes gets the layup and the foul. He'd make the free throw. Toronto goes up by 1. And Scotty Barnes, with his team up 2, misses the second free throw. He'd made the first. R.J. Barrett goes the other way, and just before the buzzer, absolutely stuffs that thing in. Watch it again as he just trucks down the lane and gets the jam to tie the game at 110. With 0.6 seconds left, the Toronto Raptors have a shot, but Julius Randle tips this thing away, so that means we're going to overtime. In the overtime, Pascal Siakam, with less than 2 to go, gets the dunk plus the foul. He'd make the free throw. Toronto up by 6. Julius Randle steals the ball, gets the and one. He'd miss the free throw, so Toronto up by 4. Jalen Brunson, with his team down 2, had a chance to win it, but couldn't get it to fall, so the Raptors go into MSG and get the win. Your final score, 123-121.
They say Fred is wanted by the Lakers.
Well, Fred would want to go anywhere. Look at how the Raptors has been performing. But can Fred really help the Lakers is the question.
Yes, they don't have anybody. For instance, to start with, there's nobody on the Lakers rotation that can shoot like him from three-point range. So that alone, I mean, he's a bit hot and cold, but when he's hot, he can win the game for you.
And then at a team like the Lakers, you don't need to be hot all the time, because you still have other players chipping in to help you. Unlike at the Raptors.
Very good point. So,
Fred is a star.
Yeah, so, But there was a time when players would want to play on a team with LeBron James.
No, it's like, let me think about it. I'll get back to you.
Because the great man is getting old, but still producing the stuff. Anyway, NBA action continues Thursday on your home of champions on Sportsmax. The Warriors meet the Celtics. This is going to be a big one. Steph Curry fresh from his return from injury. The Nets and the Suns on Sportsmax 2. 76ers and the Blazers on Sportsmax. And yeah, the Thursday schedule will be busy. The Nets, remember, are still without the injured Kevin Durant. Just before we leave, viewers in TNT, here's your chance to play or take your shot promotion. You can win a trip for two to attend the 2023 All-Star Weekend in Utah. Watch the NBA live on Sportsmax to get a chance to scan the QR code for it. More information on how to participate. This promotion, we remind you, began November 28 last year. It ends this Friday.